computer games may well become full-fledged teaching aids in a variety of disciplines, including history. But despite this, today they remain for the most part a great form of entertainment or a significant addition to your favorite hobby. IL-2 Sturmovik, the best flight simulator dedicated to the air battles of the Great Patriotic War. The game includes a huge number of aircraft, maps, and scenarios, as well as many modifications created by fans, which can be officially downloaded as special add-ons. IL-2 Sturmovik is admired not only for the historical accuracy of the proposed campaigns, but also for the technical implementation of all the aircraft models presented here. Old World is a revolutionary new historical strategy game where you lead your dynasty over generations of rule against rival kings and queens, wage massive wars, manage your court and build a dynasty, or watch your empire crumble to dust. What legacy will you leave behind? The world is full of great characters with distinct personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. Use them to forge your kingdom, defend your borders, and build ties with other leaders. Unsettled tribes, barbarian marauders, and remnants of previous cultures are all waiting in the vast unexplored wilderness. Chivalry, medieval warfare, an online game dedicated to knightly battles. Here, players will find several exciting modes and authentic arenas, an impressive set of unique classes of fighters with a choice of weapons, as well as an impressive combat system with its cruelty and dynamism. Medieval warfare is not based on any historical events, but it perfectly conveys the noble spirit of chivalry and allows you to feel the ferocious atmosphere of a medieval battle. Red Orchestra, a series included in the list of the best tactical shooters about the Second World War, allowing you to look at it from the positions of both sides of the conflict. The developers put a lot of effort into recreating the key battles of World War II, transferring both the theater of operations and all the types of equipment and weapons used in them to the game as accurately and fully as possible. Realism and historicism are not limited to appearance. All the parameters of equipment, weapon ballistics, aiming features, as well as many other aspects important for combat are also recreated as close as possible to their original prototypes. Wars and Warriors, Joan of Arc, an old action game with elements of strategy and RPG, the events of which will take players to medieval Europe with its endless battles and uprisings. Of course, the mechanics of battles and graphics in Wars and Warriors are unlikely to cause joy and admiration, but it has a deep historical plot that shows the bloody and heroic events of the 100 Years' War between France and England. Verdun, the best multiplayer shooter about the First World War, the gameplay of which is based on the maximum reconstruction of the setting, trench battles, authentic weapons and ammunition, impressive maps based on real battlefields, and much more. While Verdun lacks the spectacle and dynamism of Battlefield 1, it does have the authentic atmosphere of one of the largest and most brutal military conflicts in world history. The plot of the stealth action Velvet Assassin is based on the real story of the British spy Violetta Chavo. The Second World War was the final passage in life for her. During the execution of the next task, she was captured by the German army, where she was interrogated and shot. The game begs to be compared with Assassin's Creed. Here the player will also have to act covertly and perform various tasks that boil down to eliminating influential leaders of the fascist army. Although there is a firearm in the game, its use is highly undesirable. The character can be developed, and open locations encourage exploration. Trophy items are hidden in secluded places. Kholat. History is not only about wars and other long periods that are often covered in games. These are also various events that leave their mark forever. For example, the mystery of the Dyatlov Pass, which is covered in the adventure horror game Kholat. You have to find out 8 popular theories about the mysterious death of 9 Soviet tourists. We can only guess about the true reason. Too many oddities happened on that winter night in 1959. You are invited to independently explore the open world and uncover secrets, following the voiceover of the narrator in the face of actor Sean Bean. The Town of Light. The psychological adventure The Town of Light will take you to a hospital that actually existed in Italy in the first half of the 20th century. In 1978, due to a law, this hospital, like many others, was closed in order for patients to regain their civil rights. You will learn the story of the girl Renee, who was a patient of this hospital. She decides to return to this place in order to get answers to many of her questions. According to the gameplay, the game is a walker. You will explore the creepy little rooms and, together with the girl, will experience terrible memories. No ghosts and zombies, only harsh reality awaits you here. The Saboteur also touches on espionage during World War II, revealing the story of Sean Devlin, an auto mechanic who rises to lead the French resistance movement. The prototype for the hero was William Groover, who in reality worked for British intelligence, but in the spring of 1945 he was killed in a concentration camp. The game is a mixture of Assassin's Creed, Parker elements, Grand Theft Auto, open world, and Just Cause, destructible objects. On the shoulders of the gamer lies the difficult task of liberating the occupied areas of Paris, and the work will not be in vain. The original gloomy black and white picture will gradually change to color. (1979) Revolution, Black Friday. Not the most pleasant historical event is also covered by the interactive adventure 1979 Revolution, Black Friday. You will find yourself on the streets of Iran in the late 70s during the Islamic Revolution. As aspiring photojournalist Reza Shirazi, you will become part of a revolutionary movement and watch how the fates of those around you change depending on the decisions you make. For the sake of history, here are the original shots from the archives, which can be compared with those that you will make in the game. 1979 Revolution. Black Friday cleverly combines cinematic storytelling with the ability to explore a crumbling city, and the result is another great game based on true events. This war of mine is not some shooter where you can feel like Rambo. This is an atmospheric survival sim that shifts the focus from global action to a small group of people trying to keep alive in a besieged city. You have to manage the wards, constantly look for a safe haven, distribute resources, and grieve for the dead. Here, unfortunately, this will have to be experienced quite often. The game was also based on a real event, the Siege of Sarajevo, which happened not so long ago, in 1992. Britannic, patroness of the Mediterranean. What associations do you have with the word Britannica? If you thought about the Titanic, you weren't mistaken. Britannic also belongs to the Olympic series and is in fact the little sister of the Titan. In the game Britannic patroness of the Mediterranean, which is more of a virtual museum than a game in the usual sense, you are invited to explore this huge ship far and wide. You will learn its history and architecture, as well as the contribution of this monster to the First World War. Beyond the Wire is a multiplayer first-person shooter that demonstrates the realities of the Great War, along with dirty trenches, reliable weapons, and, of course, cruelty. Players are invited to fight on small maps in 50v50 mode for key points. The features of Beyond the Wire include realism, death from 1 or 2 hits, a good arsenal of weapons of that time, melee elements, and a tactical component. Games from the Dynasty Warriors series can hardly be called historical, but you can. However, their plots are based on the novel Three Kingdoms, and we have to play for the famous leaders of that difficult time in China. These are third-person action games where you, in the person of one of the most powerful heroes, will lead your army into battle. The games are notable for the fact that you will face whole hordes of enemies, which, however, will fly away from one blow, unlike their bosses. In short, these are epic and action-packed action games that can also be played with a friend in co-op mode. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, watch our other videos, press like, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today.